Hey guys, it's Krishantiw with Krishantiw.com talking about psychic development and spiritual and personal growth. I have my cat sitting on my lap here today because he came in and started meowing right when I started to make this video. So I thought maybe if I held him, I could talk about what I wanted to talk about with you guys. And today I have a story for you about mediumship and spirits. And I thought it was pretty interesting how it all worked out, and I want to just share it with you because I think this happens more often than we're aware of. So let's start from the beginning. I just finished working with a very talented student named Louise, who is a natural medium. Like, she just discovered that spirits were talking to her and started, practicing and delivering messages to people. And she wanted to fine tune her clairvoyant and clairaudient, other psychic skills. So we were working together on that. I don't know if you're aware of it or not, but I've made a lot of videos about this, but I don't like mediumship personally. I'm not a medium. I just don't feel comfortable with that whole realm. The clairvoyance and clairaudience is a little bit different, but spirits are a little too pushy for my taste. But working with Louise was different. She was communicating with the spirits, and I was just holding the space and working with her on the clairvoyant stuff. But spirits always come through when she gets into that psychic space. So she was doing a practice reading for Jeanette, who was asking about a client's boyfriend who died. Now, Jeanette is an energy worker and a healer, a hypnotherapist, and a psychologist, or a therapist. So she was asking for the client who's going through a lot of pain and sorrow because her boyfriend, who she lived with, died. And Louise right away got a lot of information, very, very interesting information about the guy who died. Conveyed all that to Jeanette. Jeanette knew some of the facts because the client actually wanted her patient or client that she was working with she gave her permission. So just, I have to say that because, it's one of those common things. We don't really want to read people without their permission. But in this case, she said, please, ask Louise if she can get anything about the boyfriend. So anyway, Louise got a lot of information, some of which Jeanette knew about, some which she didn't, but she took notes and everything. And then and we very much felt like that was him, like the spirit was coming through. So then she spoke to her client, who verified and validated other very interesting little details that Louise had picked up about the guy. The most obscure things. And this is where Louise is very good at what she does, because she's very brave and just says what she's getting, even though it makes no sense, which is important when you're doing readings and stuff. She got some detail about an elephant. She had no idea what that meant, but she said it anyway. And it turns out when Jeanette spoke to her client, the elephant reference made a lot of sense. So got all this cool validation. Yes, that was him. It was pretty interesting. Now, what was really fascinating is Jeanette was working with the client after all of this, and she said, she felt like the guy who died was around, was like almost in her head, was like around her all the time. And she felt kind of drained and tired. And his friends and people who knew him also felt like they were hearing from him or getting signs. Like Jeanette said, he left dimes everywhere for everybody. So he's just kind of around. And Jeanette, being the healer that she is, was working with the client, helping her with everything, and got a sense that he was in the room as well. Now, he had just died in a car accident. And she realized that Jeanette, this was an opportunity to do a spirit releasement, which is to talk to the spirit that's hanging around the earth plane, to call in the guides and angels. So what she did is she called in her angels, she called in her client's angels, she called in the guys' angels, And she did her own method of energy healing and releasement to raise that spirit up into the light. And she was dialoguing with him, saying, it's really not good for you to be here on the earth plane. You need to move up and out into the light. And she had to talk to the client too, to say, you can let go. It's better for you to let go of him and let him go. He's dead. Like he's hanging around. He shouldn't be hanging around here without a body. He needs to go. And so she was like, okay. She had to process, like, it's important for me to let him go. And then Jeanette did the work, and everyone felt the spirit, or they both felt the spirit sort of release out. The client immediately felt relief, and she felt lighter and very different. Like he was gone. He had transcended into the higher realms, or into the more heavenly realms, the light. And there's such an interesting story. I wanted to talk about it because it does seem like when people die when they die suddenly, or they're not ready to go, or for whatever reason, sometimes they can hang around here, like trying to, I don't know if they're confused or they just don't want to go and they weren't ready, and those who are close to them can sense it. And I do feel as though there's not really a sense of time for the spirits that have passed, because they're in a sort of different weird nether region, nether realm or whatever. But if you've experienced that, or you kind of get that sense, it's definitely possible to do that spirit releasement work, or to go to somebody like Jeanette who knows what they're doing and knows how to lift the spirit up and get it away from here, because it's no good for anybody to have those spirits kind of just lingering around. They can interfere with your thought process, with your energy field, with your aura, with they tend to interfere with the electricity and lights. In fact, in working with Louise, we connect over Skype because she's in Australia. One time there was a spirit that was so disruptive it messed up the Skype connection. And I would think maybe that was a strange coincidence if it only happened once, but it's happened over the years I've been doing this work. There have been numerous instances where there's been interferences with the connection because of energy. So it's better for all parties involved if the spirit's allowed to just be released and let go. And if you have somebody you love that has passed away and you have a feeling they're around too, you can by all means just petition their angels or talk to them, just say, go, you need to go into the light. It's good for you. And just say a lot of prayers for that too. Or as I said before, go to somebody who can help you with that. And they'll probably also be able to help you with the grieving process, because I know that's a big part of the whole thing. So, that's about it. I just wanted to share that. I thought it was so interesting. So thank you for watching. And Aloysius, say bye-bye. Oh, he's like, all right. Well, he says bye too. And I will see you next time. Thanks. Bye.